Good day, everyone. Today we will explore the ethical landscape of agentic AI, specifically focusing on the implications of moving from AI that simply generates contents to AI that autonomously takes action in our physical and digital worlds. Our learning objectives for this lesson: by the end of the session, you, the learners, will identify how systemic bias in training data can be perpetuated or escalated when agents operate autonomously in real-world scenarios like healthcare or transportation. You will compare and contrast the human in the loop and human on the loop frameworks, specifically regarding their impact on transparency and operational latency. And you will examine the concept of shared liability and how manufacturers and policymakers must collaborate on responsibility frameworks. Then you will propose dynamic governance models that shift from rigid regulations to adaptable frameworks capable of evolving alongside AI autonomy. So the contents of this lesson is to introduce the agentic AI ethics, the human in the loop versus the human on the loop debate, and the liability for autonomous agent action, as well as the governance and ethical frameworks for agentic AI. Let's start for the agentic uh, to introduce the agentic AI ethics. So, as future educators in the IT space, you've seen the rise of generative AI. Today, we are discussing the next evolution, agentic AI. This isn't just about a chatbot answering a prompt. It's about a system that can plan, set its own goals, and execute actions autonomously. Well, explore the ethical gray areas that appear when we let machines make the final call. We will tackle the key ethical challenges such as accountability gap, decision complexity, and unintended consequences. In traditional IT, if a program fails, we check the code. In agentic AI, the system is non-deterministic. It might take a path that developer never specifically programmed. So this creates an accountability gap. If the agent makes a choice that leads to harm, who do we point to? The coder, the user, or the machine? So we have the decision complexity. Agents often have to weigh conflicting priorities like efficiency versus fairness without real-time human guidance. So unintended consequences happen. So action taken by agents may create ripple effects in systems, increasing the risk of harmful outcomes due to lack of foresight. So let's discuss the ethics of doing versus ethics of generating. Unlike generative AI, agentic AI interacts directly with the real world, which carries higher stakes and more immediate tangible risk. Think of it this way: generative AI might give you a bad recipe. Generating Agentic AI might actually order the poisonous ingredients and have them delivered to your house. So about doing, once an AI interacts with the physical or financial world, the ethical risks shift from misinformation to tangible harm. Let's study the impact of autonomous actions such as real-world outcomes, systemic bias, and trust erosion. In the societal system, these agents can directly influence critical sectors like healthcare and transportation. In the systemic bias, there is a significant risk that agents will escalate biases present in their training data, leading to real-world inequities. And the trust Errors in autonomous judgment can quickly erode public confidence in AI alignment with with human values rather. So, there will be a systemic bias. So, let's proceed to the second topic, the human in the loop versus human on the loop debate. Human in the loop framework, or how do we stay in control? We have two primary models, the human in the loop HITL and the human on the loop HOTL. HITL means the AI is a tool that requires your yes before every action. It's safe, but it is slow. On the other hand, HOTL is like being a supervisor at a factory. The AI works and you only jump in when you see a red light. The danger of HOTL is automation bias. We trust the machine so much that we stop watching until it's too late. So, students or learners, can I ask you, would you want an AI to grade students' final thesis on the loop? So human on the loop framework, we have selective monitoring, proactive safeguards, and expanded scalability. Selective monitoring, human oversees AI action from supervisory standpoint, intervening only when necessary, allowing systems to function autonomously in routine tasks. While proactive safeguards, this framework relies on AI systems equipped with fail-safes to detect anomalies, ensuring human involvement occurs only in critical situations. Thus, expanded scalability, by reducing direct human workload, this approach facilitates quicker, larger scale deployment of autonomous systems in diverse industries. Let's proceed to balancing autonomy and oversight. There are three: the risk mitigation, optimization trade-off, context-driven control. So risk mitigation is the striking a balance between autonomy and human oversight is key to preventing ethical lapses and reinforcing trust in AI-driven systems. The trade-off, we must find the sweet spot where we don't stifle efficiency with excessive oversight, nor invite disaster with unchecked autonomy. On the other hand, contextual control, the level of oversight should be driven by the industry. For example, healthcare requires more direct control than logistics. Let's proceed to the topic 3, the liability for autonomous agent actions. Assigning responsibility includes blame allocation, shared liability, and ethical ambiguity. So blame allocation responsibility is often shared between developers, operators, and manufacturers, making legal frameworks complex. The ethical ambiguity, can a machine be blamed? Autonomous behavior removes the direct human link, creating a vacuum in traditional accountability models. So, we should share the liability by collaborating. Involvement in AI systems often means manufacturers, users, and policy makers. So what are the legal and financial implications? There are three: regulatory challenges, financial risk, and operational disruption. Regulatory adaptation, our legal system must evolve to handle AI-related harm without stifling innovation. While financial risk, organizations face potential reputational damage and major financial losses if agents fail in critical sectors like finance or medicine. Thus, the operational disruption, failures in critical sectors, for example, healthcare or finance, could have reputational harm and major financial losses for stakeholders. And we have the bias and accountability, such as bias-driven bias, data-driven bias, contextual risk, accountability gaps, So bias is not just an error in code. It is an inherited trait from the data that leads to automated discrimination. When we talk about agentic AI, we must address data-driven bias. Unlike traditional software, these agents learn from historical data. If that data contains past human prejudices, for example, in hiring patterns or loan approvals, the AI doesn't just see that bias, it automates and scales it. Because an agent is designed to achieve a goal independently, it may find efficient shortcuts that are actually discriminatory. For instance, if an agent is told to find the most successful candidates and its training data lacks diversity, it may autonomously decide to filter out specific demographics without ever being explicitly told to do so. This is the black box of data-driven bias. The agent is doing exactly what it was trained to do, but the outcome is ethically unacceptable. Let's proceed to the topic 4, the governance and ethical frameworks for agentic AI. So we have risk and safety management. Risk management, we need continuous monitoring escalation systems that flag complex ethical dilemmas for human review. So, the preventive measure, we should implement safeguards like fail-safes and anomaly detection mechanism to minimize harmful outcomes of autonomous decision. And we should align protocols. How? By regular validation of AI goals to ensure consistency with human ethical standards and organizational missions. And the escalation systems, we design mechanisms for AI to flag critical decision, prompting human intervention, and complex ethical dilemmas. So what are the best practices here? Development must mandate transparency standards, bias mitigation, and stakeholder inclusion, particularly from marginalized communities. So these are the governance models. As we move into the realm of autonomous agents, traditional check the box regulation is no longer sufficient. We need dynamic frameworks. Unlike static laws, dynamic governance evolves alongside the technology. It uses continuous monitoring and real-time data to adjust guardrails as the AI learns and its environmental changes. Think of it as a living document that scales its restrictions based on the agent's demonstrated reliability. Next, we have collaboration oversight. No single developer or company can anticipate every ethical edge case. This model emphasizes a multi-stakeholder approach involving ethicists, legal experts, and end users in the oversight process. By collaborating across disciplines, we ensure that the agent's goals remain aligned with diverse human values, not just technical efficiency. To manage the complexity, we implement layered compliance. This is defense in-depth strategy. The first layer is technical, hard-coded kill switches and safety constraints. The second layer is organizational, internal ethics boards and audit trails. The third layer is regulatory, aligning with global standards like ISO, IEC 22989 or IEEE guidelines. So each layer acts as a safety net if the one above it fails. Finally, none of this works without policy transparency. So this isn't just about sharing the code. It's about being open about the intent and the boundaries of the AI. Stakeholders must know exactly what the agent is allowed to do, what is forbidden from doing, and who is responsible when it crosses those lines. Transparency is the foundation of trust in autonomous systems. So, transforming ethics into a technical and operation workflow to build truly ethical agentic AI, we must move beyond high-level principles and into technical best practices. It starts with transparency standards. This is often called explainable AI, the XAI. An agent should never be a black box. It must be designed with the capability to provide a trace or a rationale for its action. If an agent denies, requests, or changes a system setting, a human supervisor must be able to ask why and get a logically consistent answer. Transparency is the first step toward trust. Next, we implement the bias mitigation strategies. This is a continuous process, not a one-time fix. It begins with data auditing, checking our training sets for historical prejudices before the agent ever sees them. But it also includes algorithmic fairness, where we program the agent to prioritize equitable outcomes even if they are slightly less efficient than a biased path. We must test the agent in sandbox. Then, to ensure nothing slips through the cracks, we establish accountability checkpoints. These are hard-coded moments in the agent's decision-making process where it is required to pause and log its intent. Finally, we must prioritize the stakeholder inclusion. Ethics cannot be determined by developers alone. We must include the people who will actually be affected by the AI. This includes the marginalized groups, end users, and domains experts like doctors or teachers. The transition from a tool to an agent changes the nature of ethical responsibility. To understand the ethics of agentic AI, we must first look at the concept of independence. That is, the traditional AI follows a script. It is a tool, but an agent is designed with a degree of freedom to achieve goal. The unforeseen outcome, because the agent is non-deterministic, meaning it might solve a problem in a way a human programming never anticipated, we see emergent behaviors. Then the program didn't tell it to be unethical. The programmer simply didn't foresee the independent path the AI take would take. Okay. Well, the bias risk in an agentic system, bias is not just a skewed search result, it is a biased action. If an agent operates independently on biased data, it can systematically exclude groups from services or opportunities without a human ever realizing it. So our task as IT professional is to move from preventing errors to governing independence. We must build guardrails that prevent these unforeseen outcomes and ensure that the agent's independence is always bounded by human values. So now that we've identified the accountability gap, how do we manage it? It starts with the concept of shared responsibility. So in the world of autonomous agents, we can no longer point to a single person when an error's accountability is distributed across a chain of agency. So we have the developer, the manufacturer, the operator. So we have the decision transparency. This is glass box approach. If an agent takes an autonomous action, especially one that involves a high stakes trade-off, it must generate a decision log. Additionally, legal framework or current laws are built for tools, not agents. We are seeing a shift toward new legal standards such as the EU AI Act and IEEE P7000 series. So let's proceed to practical governance strategies. The Policy updates. Our existing IT and HR policies were written for static software, not autonomous agents. We must update these policies to define exactly what an agent is allowed to do, who owns its actions, and what the rules of engagement are for its autonomy. And the risk mitigation in the world of agentic AI, risk is not just a bug, it's an unintended autonomous consequence. And the education programs governance isn't just for the IT department, it's for everyone. We need to train our staff to understand the difference between using a tool and supervising an agent. So to conclude, delegating autonomy is not a set it and forget it task. It requires a balance of efficiency and control. Our goal isn't to stop AI from acting, but to ensure that every autonomous action is grounded in human values and held accountable. So these are the additional or detailed conclusion and about ethical balance, responsibility clarity, human oversight, and value alignment. And my references are, you can read this class. Thank you class for listening.